This is Joshua James, the Vegetable Butcher. Today we're going to be making some plant-based biscuits and gravy. I already have my gravy heating up. This is, we use the Lightlife sausage. You can get it from Publix or a supermarket. We basically build it the same way you would build your traditional southern gravy. Start off with a little bit of minced onion, some fat, get it going nice and hot, get that sausage in there, get a nice sear on it. Then you're going to go in with a little bit of flour. We use plant-based milk. You can use cashew milk or almond milk. And then after you cook your flour into the sausage, add your almond milk in. It'll thicken up, and then from there you can season it. It's super easy. Don't let it be intimidating to you. It's basically just you know, throwing some flour into some fat and then adding some liquid into it, and it'll thicken up on its own. You can walk away from it, and while we walk away from it, I'm going to sear this. This is our plant-based egg, which is made out of extra firm tofu, and this is seasoned with salt, nutritional yeast, onion, and garlic. Right now I'm conditioning my pan, which means I'm heating it up. I do it on medium-high heat. Add just a little bit of oil into it. We use avocado oil or grapeseed oil. In this case, this is grapeseed oil. It has a high smoke point. It's also completely plant-based and minimally processed. We're going in the pan with the fried tofu. Get a nice little sear on that. I got my biscuits in the oven. Gravy's getting nice and hot. These biscuits, same way that you'd make traditional biscuits. You got your flour, your baking powder, your baking soda. We make a buttermilk out of almond milk, and you squeeze a lemon into it, and then you let it sit for like 10 minutes, and that'll culture. And then you can use that as like your buttermilk replacement. Take some plant-based butter and really just fold it into the flour with your fingers, and then add that liquid into it, stir it up. Boom, you got yourself some biscuits in about 15 minutes. Get a nice sear on your plant-based egg substitute. No saturated fat. Lots of protein. Everybody loves that. Go over the top with some of this plant-based gravy. So. Now, since the tofu doesn't have any fat, we add a lot of fat into the pan just to incorporate that into that, because that fat obviously is what gives the traditional egg most of its savoriness. Is the fat is why you like it so much. Alright, go in with our little plant-based egg. This is our little scramble, so to speak. We garnish that with some fresh chive, some fresh sage, and a little bit of hot sauce. And there you go, you got a plant-based biscuits and gravy. Now we're going to be making our plant-based crab cake, which is very delicious and nutritious. First I'm going to start by, once again, conditioning the pan, which means I'm going to take it to about medium-high heat, let it hang out for a little bit, heat up. Got one medium-sized yellow onion, and take the peel off. You only need a half of it. Go in and dice this. Half of a large red bell pepper diced. There's some oil in your pan now that it's nice and hot. Now as we saute this, we'll build the rest of the dish. And then you can add a little bit of salt to the vegetables. This will help pull out some of the moisture, help them sweat. For our crab cake build, we're going in with a little bit of plant-based mayo. We use the Just Mayo brand. Hellmann's also makes a variety, and then also Vegan-A's makes a variety of vegan mayonnaise. We have a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, some fresh garlic, some Old Bay seasoning, because everybody knows Old Bay is associated with seafood, so it kind of gives your brain that little trick, and it's like, oh, okay, I associate the Old Bay with seafood, so that'll impart that little bit of experience into the crab cake. We also add dried seaweed flake called Dulce. This also will impart the seafood flavor to the dish. Fresh lemon juice, as always, goes with seafood. Use your hand to catch the seeds. Going in with some fresh parsley, a tablespoon. Now we have these hearts of palm. This is going to be our crab substitute. Just gonna throw this in the food processor. Now you got your, looks like crab, right? There we go. Take this, add it to our bowl. Alright, from here, our peppers and onions should be getting nice and sauteed now. You wait till the more moisture you pull out of them, the more flavor they're going to have. So let these cook for about 5 minutes. I think we're good. We're going to add this right into the bowl. Of course, our favorite flavor enhancer, salt, and a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. And then from there, we got 1.5 cups of panko breadcrumbs. These are Japanese style breadcrumb. Add this to the dish, and then from here, easy, just fold it all together, be gentle. It'll all start to come together. Use your hands, form a relationship with your food. Don't be afraid to touch it, feel it, taste it, smell it. We'll refrigerate this for about 15-20 minutes, and you'll have a nice, moldable, shapeable mixture. And from here, just throw a little bit of fat down on your, you can use a saute pan. In this case, I'm going to use a flat top, but just go right in. And then also, if you had it like sitting in your fridge for a little bit too long, you can always take a little bit more breadcrumb and kind of just pat it, just to dry it out a little bit, so you get that better sear, better crunch, more texture. Delicious. All right, and then from here, we're just gonna let these sear. They take about 4 minutes per side. All right, so we got our crab cake nice and seared. Got that nice golden brown, that Maillard reaction on there. Gonna let it rest right here for a second while I get this plate ready. This is our signature jalapeno tartar sauce. It's got fresh cucumber and fresh jalapeno in it, but we take the membrane and the seeds out, so it's not so spicy. So it's could be enjoyable for all palates. Just put a little bit of that down and give it a little swoosh. Wow! All right. A little bit of fresh greens. And then our crab cake. And just top that off with just a little swirl of hot sauce. There we go.
Hey guys, Tyler Vaughn here with the Vegetable Butcher. Just gonna try and break down for you today and show you our plant-based chocolate mousse recipe. Everybody loves chocolate mousse. This is our riff on it. This way, you know, for you have any vegan guests, anything like that, you can set them up with a nice, delicious, tasty treat. Basically, first things first, I'm gonna go in with some regular dairy-free morsels or chips you can find at the supermarket. This is Lightlife brand. Come right into my pan. Basically, don't need too much heat. You don't want to take and have your pan too hot, or you will take and you'll burn the chocolate. You'll be able to immediately smell that. That's not something that you want. Basically, I just want to take and melt these down to about 3/4 of the way. You don't have to have it all completely liquefied, because once you take and you add your next ingredient, it will take and it'll carry it the rest of the way through. So then from there, for 1 cup of chips, I'm actually just going to take 1 can of regular unsweetened coconut milk here. Put that right in there. From there, you can basically cut your heat at that point and just combine the two ingredients. I do recommend using some type of rubber spatula. You don't want to use any type of steel whisk or anything like that when you're working with an aluminum pan, because you'll actually take and scrape off pieces of the pan. Always try and take and use rubber. So basically what we want to do is we just want to take these two things until they're just about combined. You don't want to have any lumps from your chocolate. You want a nice homogeneous mixture of the two ingredients. Basically from here, pretty simple. We're just going to take this, bring it right over into our blender. You don't really need necessarily a really high-speed blender for this application. We are using the Vitamix. We always suggest, you know, having some type of blend tech or Vitamix for different applications. From here, pretty simple. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take some dates, 4 dates in this example, and what you have here is you have an ingredient that is a nice low glycemic index sweetener. So you're going to take and sweeten your mousse, and at the same time you're going to take and thicken it. What we have here is salt. Some people might think that's a little strange, but when you have salt in a dessert, you're not actually going to have that savory quality come through. It's just a nice little flavor enhancer, so just do a little pinch or two of that. You can kind of do it to sweetness. And then basically, last but not least, just a little bit of vanilla extract. From there, we're just going to take and just kind of combine this. You just want to do it enough just to break up the dates so everything combines. Bring it to a nice high speed for just a moment. So then we're going to take our mousse. Basically, you can just take and put it in any kind of container you'd like. I'm just using a plastic bowl for this application. So what you have now is a substance that is fairly still runny and in a liquid form. Basically, you want to take this and refrigerate it for a couple hours. What you'll have when you pull it out of the refrigerator is basically a chocolate fudge looking substance. It'll be very firm and very dense. So at that point, to complete the recipe, you can take your So Delicious brand or any type of non-dairy cocoa whip. In this example, we use, for this particular recipe, 1 entire container of Cocoa Whip So Delicious. You fold it into your mixture. This is gonna take and incorporate nice pockets of air and really lighten up the dish and give it that traditional chocolate mousse-like consistency that is light and fluffy and airy. Once you have that, basically take your mixture, put it in a piping bag. I also have an additional piping bag here of the So Delicious brand whip. You can also take and make your own. We'll be doing a recipe for that soon. But from there, you just take whatever kind of vessel. In this case, I'm just using this nice glass. You can use any kind of glass. But obviously, the prettier the flute, the prettier the end result is going to be. So I'm just going to go back and forth and kind of alternate one after another until I've got this glass right how I would like it. I'm going to come back in with the final layer, put a nice little dollop of whip right there. I can take and garnish it, put a few fresh berries, and then if you really want to make it look nice and fancy, you can come back through with your microplane with a little bit of chocolate and just kind of put some really nice little light shavings right over top of it like that. And there you have it. Nice little plant-based chocolate mousse.